How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? As you get ready to listen to this upcoming episode from the Playmakers Blog podcast, I just want to let you know that you too can get into the podcast journey. It's very simple, it's very easy. All you got to do is jump on Anchor, the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. It is 100% free and easy to use. And even with Anchor, you can get great sponsors who want to advertise your podcast. That means you can get paid for your podcast right away from Jump Street. So, in fact, reading this ad is what I'm doing right now. So, if you had the time, if you had the will and determination and the dream to be a podcaster, what you waiting for? Jump on it. Anchor is the way to go. You ready? I'm ready. The Playmakers Bar Podcast present Hoops Talk, hosted by Darnell the Playmaker Salins. NBA, college basketball, playoffs, March Madness. No matter what, we talking hoops, man. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? What is going on? Hey, man, look, you already know what this is. This is Hoops Talk from the Playmakers Bar Podcast. You know my voice. You know me by now. The Playmaker, Darnell Salins, out here in Jacksonville, Florida. Look, I'm finna jump into it because I don't have time for this. I don't have time to play games. We are in the conference finals. We are down to the final 4 teams in the NBA. In which none of the teams have won a championship since the 70s. Meaning the Milwaukee Bucks. The other team who won a championship was the Atlanta Hawks franchise when there was the St. Louis Hawks back in 1958, I believe. And there was the St. Louis Hawks. The St. Louis Hawks, meaning the Atlanta Hawks has never won the title. The St. Louis Hawks has won the title, but the Atlanta Hawks has never won the title. And then we had the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers, who have never won a championship. As a matter of fact, it's the first time that Los Angeles Clippers has made it to a conference finals anyway. And it's the first time the Phoenix Suns have made it to a conference finals since, we're talking 2007, 2008, 2007. You're talking about when Steve Nash was there, along with Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion and that crew. I believe they got bounced out either by the Lakers or the Spurs. But look, this is crazy. This is crazy. Check this out, though. How did we get here? How did we get to the conference finals? Simple. Let's start off on Friday. Friday, the Philadelphia 76ers did what they're supposed to have did. They walked into the ATL, and they came out victorious to force the Game 7. Atlanta had their chance, but they revert back to their old ways, and Philly, they what they do best. But hey, that's not the big point. Friday night, the Los Angeles Clippers went home after shocking everybody in Game 5 in Utah and beating them in Utah. They went home. They were down 25 in the third quarter. 25 in the third. It was 75 to 50 in the third quarter. They came back and they beat the Utah Jazz. They scored 81 points in the second half. 81 points in the second half. They outscored them 81 to 47 in the second half, overcoming a 25-point deficit led by Terrence Mann. 39 points. By the way, he dunked on Rudy Gobert for a second consecutive game. I mean, your 3-time defensive player here just got dunked twice by a man who just came off the bench to fill in for Kawhi Leonard. Terrence Mann. Paul PG-13 did his thing. Reggie Jackson did his thing. 27 from Jackson, 28 from George. And Terrence Mann just went ballistic. And these boys came back and knocked out the number one team in the entire league, the Utah Jazz, to make their first ever conference finals. Their first ever! And they did it without Kawhi Leonard. Without Kawhi Leonard! You got to respect it, man. You got to respect it. And then on Saturday, in a series where home teams defended home court, it was Game 7. Milwaukee Bucks, Brooklyn Nets, Brooklyn, New York, the broadcast winner. And this game was epic. This game was epic. 2 40-point games, but only one survived. 40 points, 13 boards, 5 assists for Giannis Antetokounmpo. 48 points, 9 boards, 6 assists for Kevin Durant. But it was the Milwaukee Bucks getting the lone road win in the most important game of the series, which is Game 7, to send the Brooklyn Nets packing, as the Milwaukee Bucks are back in the Eastern Conference Final for the second time in 3 years. I mean, Harden gave you 22 points, 9 boards, 9 assists. Bruce Brown gave you 14 points. Harris gave you 10. Bray gave you 17 and 11. But man, like I said, Giannis gave you 40. Chris Middleton got you 23. Brook Lopez 19. Drew Holiday 13. PJ Tucker 11. Pat Connaughton came out the bench and gave you 9. It was a hard-fought game as the Bucks took it 115-111 in overtime. No LeBron James. No Kevin Durant. No James Harden. No Kyrie Irving. No Steph Curry. No Lakers. No 76ers. No Nets. No Warriors. We have teams who are not known for winning championships in the conference finals. The Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Atlanta Hawks, because the Atlanta Hawks on yesterday went back to Philadelphia and took down the number one team in the East, 103-96. Not Trae Young's best game, and guess what? It didn't even goddamn matter. Trae Young was terrible. Trae Young, 5 for 23 from the field, 2 for 11 on 3-pointers, scored 21 points and got you 10 assists, and yet they still won the game. They still won the game! Kevin Huerter was more like Kevin Hunter because he hunted shots down. 10 for 18, 2 for 4 from 3. 27 points to lead the Hawks. 27 points to lead the Hawks. Danilo Gallinari came off the bench, gave you 17. Collins gave you 14 and 16. Capella gave you 13. And with a poor shooting Trae Young, they was able to overcome a 31 and 11 point game from Joel Embiid. 24 and 14 from Tobias Harris, 16 from Steph Curry. I mean, the process, right? The process, right? Trust the process, right? Trust the process, right? Y'all lost to the Atlanta Hawks. Y'all lost to a team that y'all some bigger than. Y'all lost to a team where they star player was shooting terribly. 5 for 23. 5 for 23 was Trae Young. That is terrible shooting. And they still beat y'all. He went 2 for 11 from. He only made 2 threes. And they still beat y'all. They shot 26% from 3-point range. They shot 44% from the field. And they still beat y'all. Philly ain't shoot no better. 32% from 3. 42.5 from the field. And y'all was at home. The city of brotherly love. It's the city of heartbreak right now. Because the 76ers just can't get it together. You switch coach. You got rid of Brent Brown. You brought in Doc Rivers. So it's still the same. Y'all get bounced. No matter if it's Toronto with Kawhi Leonard. Don't matter if it's Milwaukee with Giannis. Doesn't matter if it's Atlanta with Trae Young. Y'all get bounced. Y'all get bounced. Yeah, get out of here. Y'all gotta go. Y'all get out of here. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Trae Young ain't being Trae Young, and he still beat y'all. But a damn shame. And you know, Ben Simmons. You know, watching Inside the NBA with Ernie Johnson, Kenny Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal. And this series, when it comes to the fourth quarter, Ben Simmons took 3 shots. He made all 3, but he only took 3 shots in the fourth quarter. He took 2 of them in game 1, and he took 1 in, I think, game 5. Only 3 total shots in the fourth quarter in this damn series. 3! In the most important quarter of a basketball game. 3! They had Doc Rivers. They asked Doc Rivers, is Ben Simmons the kind of guard you can win a championship with? He just straight up said, I don't know. I don't know. He straight up said, I don't know. I answered that question for you though. Hell no! You got a point guard at 6'10" and you only give you 3 shots in the fourth quarter. What kind of bull crap is that? There ain't no point guard. Somebody need to go send Ben Simmons over with Chris Paul at. Maybe he'll learn then. Because then when Chris Paul leads the team, he's going to shoot when it's time to shoot. That's a matter of fact. You know what? Speaking of Chris Paul. Because I don't want to harp on too much on Ben Simmons right now. It was game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Los Angeles Clippers, Phoenix Suns down in the Valley, Phoenix, Arizona. No Chris Paul for Phoenix. No Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. Who's going to step up? And as I predicted, if y'all read the article of me previewing this game on yesterday, you will see I was on point. Paul George versus Devin Booker did not disappoint in game 1. My goodness, that did not disappoint. Reggie Jackson didn't disappoint. I mean, Miles Bridges didn't disappoint. But check this out, though. Paul George, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Reggie Jackson, 24 points. Terrence Mann, he ain't had one of them games. He only had 9 points. Marcus Morris, we need more from him. But he's done with some knee issues. He only gave you 6. Next Batum only gave you 5. Need some more production. Now, DeMarcus Cousins did come off the bench and gave you 11, which is a good sign. Zubac got you 9. Rondo got you 8. But you need more production. You need more help for Jackson and Paul. Because 40 points, 13 boards, 11 assists from Devin Booker. His first ever triple-double. His first ever triple-double came in the playoffs in the West Conference Finals. First ever. But guess what, though? DeAndre Ayton, 20 and 9. Mikal Bridges, 14. Jay Crowder, 13. Cameron Payne, 11, filling in for Chris Paul. Cameron Johnson came off the bench, gave you 12. Now, they had open looks, man. They had some wide open looks, and they drilled them. Give the Suns credit. They got the shots that they wanted, and they knocked them down. That's how you get a triple-double, a 40-point triple-double for Devin Booker. Paul George, Reggie Jackson, they need help. Terrence Mann, you got to be what you did with the Utah series. Marcus Morris, if you're going to play, you got to give us more than 6 minutes. More than 6 points in 21 minutes. Next Batum, you get that shooting. You got to give us more than 5 points. Just saying. But the thing is, I feel comfortable with the Clippers. I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable. Only thing the Suns did was defend home court. They got open looks and they knocked them down. Now, what happens if game 2 comes around and they don't have them open looks and they shots not falling? Can they still duplicate what they did? I have confidence in the Clippers. The Clippers showed it. They was down 25 to the best team in the NBA. They could have melted in and say, hey, let's go back to Salt Lake City and go get game 7. Hell no. Nah. We down 25? All right, let's get it going. Let's get it going. They got it going, and Utah didn't have an answer. Especially, and Donovan Mitchell had like 39 points. In that game 6 loss, he scored 30. Hey, the Clippers just wanted it more. The Clippers can be down and still win it more than the other team. They proved it. Let's see how the Suns respond when the tires in the story has slipped over, and they are the ones that are down. Can they come back? They never been in a position where they was down big yet. They never been in that position. The Clippers have, so I feel comfortable in the Clippers. Now, if CP3 come back, which people are saying he will come back around game 2 or game 3, okay, then I like the Phoenix Suns to win the damn thing because they're going to need Kawhi Leonard. And we don't know what type of help Kawhi Leonard's going to have going forward. But if Kawhi Leonard and CP3 come back, we right back where we started at square one. I feel good about the Clippers. But depending on how healthy both of them are. Now, even though they're like, Chris Paul will be back, y'all don't understand. Y'all still don't understand the power of COVID. Yes, Chris Paul is vaccinated, but will there be lingering effects from him having COVID, even though he's vaccinated? See, we don't know the answer to that. So I'm not going to sit here and say, Chris Paul coming back, lock it up for the Phoenix Suns. Because we don't know the effects of COVID on Chris Paul. Even though he is vaccinated, we don't know the effects of it. We don't know how much of the lingering is going to still be there. We don't know that. That's something we got to watch out for. Just like we got to watch out for Kawhi Leonard and his knee whenever he decides to come back for this series. If he decides to come back for this series to begin with. But if it's Monday like game 1, I believe the Clippers can take game 2 on Wednesday. I believe that. Is it Wednesday? No, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow. I believe the Clippers can take game 2. Because I just feel like what happens when the Suns don't have that shooting? When it happens when that game comes around and those shots ain't falling now? What happens when them looks ain't as open as it was? What happens when they're actually being challenged for once? The Clippers challenged them, but they had a lot of open looks. What happened when them open looks closed? What happened? I need to see this. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't really seen the Suns in a position where they had to fight. When they literally had to fight. Especially without Chris Paul. Let's see them fight without Chris Paul. Let's see that. Let's see them fight without Chris Paul. That's what I want to see. And then if they fight without Chris Paul and they still looking like they did in game 1, hey, shout out to Phoenix for making them in the NBA Finals. But until I see it, I like the Clippers. I still like the Clippers, okay? That's just me. Game 2 is tomorrow night, 9 p.m. ESPN, the exclusive home for the Western Conference Final. And your home for the NBA Final will be ABC. So game 2 tomorrow. Let's see the adjustments Tyronn Lue will make with the Clippers. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Atlanta Hawks will be in Milwaukee. For game 1, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Exclusively on TNT. All your Eastern Conference Final games will be on TNT. All your Western Conference Final games will be on ESPN/ABC. Should be a doozy to see who will be the two teams representing their conferences in the NBA Finals, which will begin in July. They have an NBA Finals in July. This is unprecedented. It kind of helps cut down that period. Help cuts down that period of somewhere between the end of basketball season and getting into football season. But we do have the Olympics coming up, so that's a good thing too. So, Bradley Beal said he's going to play for Team USA, which is good. That's nice to have Bradley Beal on the team. Let's see who else will be on the team when we get there down the road and see who's there. Other than that, man, Philly got some thinking to do. But they're going to do it with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. especially Ben Simmons. Brooklyn, if they healthy, we know ain't nobody beating them. But hey, health is a part of the playoffs, and they didn't get it done. Kevin Durant was tired. Kevin Durant airball, a game tying shot to send it to double overtime. Hey, it happens. It happens. But shout out to PG-13, Devin Booker for getting into the Western Finals. Shout out to Trae Young, the Giannis Antetokounmpo getting to the East Finals. We got down to the Final Four, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is. Y'all can catch me. Y'all might be able to hear from me on Wednesday because I think I'm going to be live on Snowman in the morning. I think I'm going to be live on there. He hit me up yesterday, say, yo, I need you live, man. I got to have you on the show again. So, most likely, you'll hear from me again on Wednesday, I will let that, if that does happen, that will take place of Thursday's episode because I won't be able to do a Thursday or Friday's episode. So, hopefully, we can get that done Wednesday. So, with that, y'all hear from me again, and we'll be rocking and rolling, man. And it's conference finals. We are here. So from right here from Jacksonville, Florida, the playmaker down there selling. I'll catch y'all some other time for Hoops Talk. Deuces. Woo! I hope you guys enjoyed that episode as much as I enjoy bringing it to you. So if you want to stay updated and know when new episodes of Hoops Talks come out, subscribe and follow to the podcast. You can do this on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Speaker.com, or any of your favorite platforms, including iTunes/Apple Podcasts. And for those of you who are listening on iTunes and Apple Podcasts, go ahead and drop a rate and review of the podcast to let us know how we're doing and how we can improve. And for those of you who want to see any other podcasts that we got going on, go ahead and subscribe to our website, theplaymakersblog.com, and you can see all the podcasts that we do. Until next time for Hoops Talk, it's your boy, the Playmaker down there, Silent, signing off.